a feast of local fashion. This is South Africa Fashion Week, an event that is fast becoming a must-see as South Africa positions itself as the continent's fashion capital.
Well, the South African Fashion Week is all about growing the designers, and we have various ways of giving the designers an opportunity to grow, and one of those are, for instance, the pop-up shop that we do in Sandton City, and that is incredibly successful because the designers get the opportunity to interact with their consumers, to do some research, to make money, and to get turnover going. We also do the South African Fashion Week Designer Capsule Store in Edgars. We are in Melrose Arch, and we've now rolled out to Sandton City. And we also have the Buyers Lounge and an agent. So we are all about fashion. We are all about just growing the designer businesses, and we've achieved huge successes.
This year's installment is the 22nd seasonal show, and this is the Autumn-Winter 2013 collection. Adding a twist to the event was a talent show of mammoth proportions. The Renault New Talent Search gave opportunities to local fashion designers to share the runway with SA's top designers. The competition has perhaps unearthed a name that could be on everybody's lips in the not-too-distant future.
I'll cut it short. I'm a Coetzee boy from the rural areas in the Eastern Cape, raised in a God-fearing family, you know. So for me to branch out and do fashion, it was always seen as taboo. Even from the church people, they looked at it as a taboo. So I didn't have enough finances to actually pay for tuition, you know, to study fashion design. So Tandegile Mvunela, the lady I work with, you know, she taught me the basics of tailoring. And I would go to downtown Josie, buy a jacket for 30 Rand, tear it up and just learn, you know, basically how they make a jacket, get the proper blueprint, you know. So in a way, I kind of like taught myself the skill, you know, of tailoring. And then that's how I got here, you know, very humbling.
The accolade brings a kind of attention that is needed to create awareness and growth, both of which are crucial elements for a successful business.
I think it's very admirable that the buzzword in South Africa now is about entrepreneurship and supporting small business. But I think in reality, I think our focus on a larger scale in terms of government, manufacturing, unions is elsewhere. And I think although we speak about entrepreneurship, we don't have an enabling environment in South Africa to really support the small businesses. And I think specifically small businesses in fashion have very, very difficult needs. You are battling against kind of imports, you are battling against the huge machine that is China manufacturer, and we really can't compete on those levels. So we really need to find kind of scale down the expectations and find out the pockets of where we can nurture those small businesses, small communities. And for example, what South African Fashion Week has been doing with Lucilla, you know, is turning craft, which is an indigenous kind of skill that we have here, into a more contemporary design orientated thing. And we really should focus on design. Cape Town is the design capital of the world, 2014. So the focus, you know, we have a lot of creativity here. We need that help in turning it into businesses. But almost all fashion in South Africa is on a micro business level, and we need to support that and grow that very, very slowly.
But time is not a virtue the fashion industry can afford. Government, along with investors, are urged to assist more to speed things along.
Well, I do think that the designers need some bridging capital. So from the time they get the orders to the time they deliver, they need capital. And the designers are ready to take that next step, but we have nowhere to turn to. That, for instance, is just the one thing. The other thing is fabrics. We get no fabrics in South Africa. And also then not getting the bridging capital or the bridging funds stops the designers from blocking their fabrics. So they've got to work with what they have at the moment, and if that runs out, it's gone. So we need huge support. We need not only financial support, but also mentorship programs needs to be put into place. We need to teach the designers how to do business creatively and how to build their businesses and how to do all of those things that they are now ready to do.
Due to the highly competitive nature of the industry, South African designers will need to create their own approach to grab the consumer's attention.
It's going to be tougher and tougher because, you know, my company Flux, we look at consumer mindset a lot. So I've been actually just casually talking to some retailers, specifically South African retailers that stock local designers, you know, and there it's a global pattern. There's a ceiling on price now. There's whereas loyal customers would come and buy 2-3 items, it's now a 1 item kind of thing. So if you layer that on top of the brands that are coming to South Africa, it's a really tough environment. It's a battlefield out there, and you can see the sort of closures, the to let signs in restaurants, in retail shops, and everything. So, for me, in this time, cash flow is king. You make sure that you get to the people who are loyal to you, and you really make sure you hold on to that base.
This base looks to create the right path for future top designers of the country. With that, hopefully many more creatives like Zanu Siteto will shine for the South African fashion industry.